Changing the world in a positive way is very important to me. I try to tell my children to do the same, and I would hope that many of you listening out there today want to be better human beings. Hello there, everybody, and welcome to another episode of your 5-Minute Friday. I'm Dr. Krieger, your host. This one is going to wrangle you up. It's going to ruffle some feathers, and I love that. That's my favorite kind. You probably got a busy life, probably got a lot going on, probably doing a lot. Maybe you have kids, maybe you don't, maybe you got a significant other. I want you to take a deep breath, and I want you to forget about your busy life for just a minute here. And I want you to wonder and ask yourself, what are you doing to become a better person? Yeah. You know, I was asked by my therapist, and again, I've been very open. I love therapy, especially if you feel like you're in a good place. I love therapy. I've said it for years. It doesn't have to be forever, but I've changed therapists over the years, and I love talking to them to make myself a better person. And I've told them quite clearly that if at my funeral, which I hope happens many, many years from now, if people come up to my kids and tell them what a great orthodontist I've been in my life, then I failed. That is not who I want to be remembered as, right? And so my therapist said, well, what do you want? I said, really, I haven't given it much thought, but I'd love the people whose lives I've changed in a positive way that nobody knows about to go up to my kids and tell them. That person who I helped out, lifted them up when they needed some help, maybe gave them a hug, maybe looked them in the eye and told them, you've got this, you can do this. Just those kinds of things, those are the things I want my kids to hear, even though, ironically, those are the things I don't want them to hear right now because I do it for me, right? But my point in all of this is, changing the world in a positive way is very important to me. I try to tell my children to do the same. And I would hope that many of you listening out there today want to be better human beings, right? What kind of person is, no, I don't want to be a better human being. I want to be worse. I want to leave my negative impact on the world. And so again, I'm going to ruffle some feathers here when I ask you, okay, great. You want to be a better person? What are you doing? What are you doing to be a better person? And don't tell me you go to synagogue or church and that makes you a better person, because we all know that that's not the case. Your spiritual relationship with your creator or self or universe is wonderful. That's great. But what are you doing to become a better person? What are you reading? What are you watching? What are you interacting with? Right? So if you're on social media all day scrolling through stories and feeds, is that making you a better person? It has its place, but what percentage of your day are you doing that on? If you're running home from work and you're playing with your kids all day, that's satisfying. That's amazing. That's wonderful. Does it make you a better person? Probably not, right? So we have to work on ourselves as well as give of ourselves. Those are two very important things in this world. I want to give a lot of myself, but I want it to be a positive sum gain at the end of the day, not a negative. If I give you X in terms of love, respect, kindness, I want to gain, X times 1.1. Right? I want to have more X, whatever that might be, in my life than what I gave away. Because if there's less, my gas tank's going to run empty at some point. Or I'm not heading towards where I want to be. So for many of you listening to this, you're at a stage of life that's not my stage. My stage is empty nester almost. God bless my son. But it's empty nester almost, right? And I'm in a different place than you are, but even when I had little kids, I was always working on self-development. I was always trying to become better in health, in spirituality, in self. Now, I wasn't as sophisticated with it as I am now. That's because I'm in my 6th decade. It takes time to get there and learn how to do this effectively, because the things you think are really important right now really aren't, many of them. You're going to look back in your mid to late 50s like I am and go, oh my God, what was I thinking? How could that have been important in my life? And yes, you do have limited time with your children. Don't buy into this crap that you only have till age 18 to influence your children. It's not true. I have one kid in her 20s and the other 2 are about to hit 20. And guess what? We talk all the time about life situations and how to make the right choices. And they seek out my wisdom, thank God still, right? But my point is, while you're spending time with your kids, while you're spending time with your spouse, make sure you put your oxygen mask on first. Otherwise, you can't help anybody. And make sure your gas tank is not running low. And again, don't give me this crap that you love to post on social media about nothing makes you happier in this world than being around your children. That's wonderful. Nothing makes me happier than eating a box of Cheez-Its. But that doesn't make me a better person. and there's a place for it in my life. And by the way, nothing used to make me happier than eating a box of Cheez-Its. I'm just saying that now. Focus on what's important to you to give, but focus even more on what's important for you to receive. That could be a hobby. It could be reading, right? It could be any number of things. But again, for all too many people listening right now, their life involves their kids, their practice, and then some TV series or scrolling through their Instagram feed. That's it. And I don't have time. I'm too tired. I can't do anything else. Well, cut the crap out of your life. Get rid of the crap. Take the stuff that's actually going to make you a better person, build up your gas tank, make yourself stronger, more bulletproof, and amazing things will happen. Because you're only going to run on what you put in your gas tank. And if it's going to be mindless social media drivel, if it's going to be gossip, if it's going to be just coming home and giving 100% of yourself to your family and your practice and your patients and your team, and then you wonder why you're so stressed out. So do me a favor. Focus on those around you love. Focus on doing the things you love. But fill up your gas tank with golden energy, with things that make you better. Have conversations with people that are deep. Not just your spouse and your kids and those around, but have conversations with mentors, right? Go find yourself a mentor. We've had that conversation numerous times. So the whole purpose here of this 5-Minute Friday is to get you really to slow down, analyze, and say, what can I do in my life to fill my gas tank with better stuff? And how do I stop filling myself up with the garbage gasoline that is just taking up my time? And where are the things that are important to me taking up too much of my time? Because again, if you come home from work at 5 o'clock and you spend the whole night with your kids, put them to bed, wake up and do the whole thing again tomorrow, and then do the whole thing on Friday night when you take them to sports or dance or whatever, and do the whole thing on Saturday, and then do the whole thing on Sunday, I'm telling you now, it may work on your social media posts and your social media feeds, and you can fool people out there. But in your heart, in 5 or 10 years from now, there's going to be problems. Take it from an older, call me stupid, all right? But there's some wisdom that comes with making mistakes. And let me tell you, folks, I've made a lot of them. And there, for the grace of God, I could be that person out there with a destroyed life because of how one-sided I was at certain points in my life, looking at things that were really important. So please, don't buy into the social media myth that everybody's life is amazing. Don't feel you have to compete with other people. Don't confuse what you're posting on your social media with what's really important in your real life. Because at the end of the day, when you look in the mirror and really ask yourself the questions about what's important, the answers you get may not be the ones you're living. And for me, right now, as I tell you this, if you're watching this on YouTube rather than just listening, you'll see 1 finger pointing at you and 3 pointing back at me. Why? Because I'm saying this to myself and I'm taking you along for the ride. All of this applies to me and I need a reminder of it on a regular basis. And let me remind you of it all. So like I said, I'm here for you. If you ever need anything, you want to reach out and chat with me, hit me up on Facebook, send me a message. I'm always happy to help in any way I can. I want you to live your best, lowest stress, most profitable life there is. And I want that to continue for the next several decades of your life, if not longer. So make the choices now. And again, don't buy into the social media crap because what you're seeing online, we all know scientifically it's been proven, is not people's real life. And they can fool you, but don't fool yourself with the life you're trying to lead to keep up with that. Much love to each and every one of you. And again, I'm always here for you if you ever need anything.